This week we'll need the magic touch to please our demanding duos.
Not completely pulled to the house.
At the moment, we're kind of on the fence.
I'm not stunned by the living room.
But even Phil's magic tricks can't turn pokey into palatial.
It's very small.
It's just a bit small.
We might need a miracle to get them to compromise.
I don't think it's that big an ask.
There's nowhere I could do my makeup.
Or we could conjure up the dark side.
I beat them to a pulp.
Back of the snooker table.
But here's hoping the right house will leave them spellbound.
You're rather pleased with yourself, aren't you? This week we're facing an uphill struggle in the home counties, helping two very different couples with only one thing in common.
They want everything. But round here, homes come at a price. So we'll have to acquaint our couple with compromise if they want accommodation.
Buckinghamshire and Berkshire are prime commuter counties, home to some of the nation's most expensive areas, including 3 of the UK's top 10 highest value towns.
And some of the UK's most wealthy residents live here, where the average property value is a whopping £800,000. So it's going to be lots of fun trying to find our house hunters their dream homes here.
Newlyweds Hassan and Hannah have outgrown Hassan's bachelor pad and are looking for a 4-bed forever family home over a wide patch of Buckinghamshire.
The areas we're looking to move to between junction 2 and 4 of the M40, so around Flackwell Heath, Bourne End, Marlow, Beaconsfield, Gerrards Cross, knowing full well that we can't move to all of those areas because they're far too expensive.
But that doesn't mean they're ready to compromise.
We don't want to be in High Wycombe Centre. It's just too busy.
It's too far away from the motorway.
Our honeymooners have £455,000 to spend, including any renovation work.
But they want a lot for their money in an expensive area. And even after seeing almost 40 properties with no success, they've got no burning desire to budge on any of their criteria.
No, maybe we're not prepared to compromise as much as we think we are. I want to be proud of that house. So location and the house are very important.
And if their search wasn't tough enough, Hassan's main priority is many a man's dream, his very own man cave.
I don't understand why we keep calling this request. It's a prerequisite of the search that we need a garden big enough for me to be able to build a snooker room at the back of it. It's not a massive space.
I beg to differ. It's a room bigger than 3 parking spaces. Cue Phil to talk some sense into Hassan.
I understand there's a requirement for a man cave of some description.
It's a snooker room, really. I want a snooker table, somewhere to just go and chill, and it'll be good for us.
No, I'm just happy that I get the house, he gets the snooker room. That's
I see where we're going with this. What are the priorities?
We are looking for a big garden, not only for Hass's snooker room, but just so along the line, children, place for them to play, etc. Also a big kitchen, a dining room would be lovely.
How many bedrooms?
4.
You are searching in a very big area,
yes,
and a very popular and expensive area. In order to achieve that within budget, would you consider a project?
I'd be happy to take on quite a lot, as long as we could afford to do it.
I do want to put my stamp on a house, but I wouldn't want to be in a building site for a long period of time.
And how are you both with vision and being able to see what you can do to a property?
We have a lack of.
Yes, definitely.
We need your help.
It might be me who needs the help with this one. Hannah and Hassan's sights are set between junctions 2 and 4 of the M40 and the pricey postcodes of Flackwell Heath, Beaconsfield, Gerrards Cross and Marlow, avoiding High Wycombe at all costs.
For their £455,000, they want 4 bedrooms, a separate dining room and a big kitchen.
And of course space for the precious snooker table. But Hannah and Hassan aren't our only pair with a problematic wish list.
My search is taking me to the neighbouring county of Berkshire and the popular town of Reading.
Sisters, 22-year-old market researcher Lucy and 24-year-old retail account manager Gemma have been living at home since they finished uni. But now it's time for them to fly the nest.
I think the thing I'm probably most excited about getting our own place is doing it up so it's our own and just being a bit more grown up.
The girls have been saving for 2 years, and along with money put aside by their family, they've got a deposit. But with it comes pressure.
Because our mum and dad and obviously our grandparents have been putting money away since we were so young, now that we've come to buy, I think that you do feel a bit of responsibility to make sure you make the right decision.
Even though they've got a budget of up to £215,000 from savings and a mortgage, their search hasn't progressed much further than the sofa.
As of yet, we have not viewed any houses. We haven't seen anything that
Yeah.
we really, really thought, oh
That was
yeah,
perfect.
but we've looked at so many online.
Not good enough, girls.
With just 21 months between them, the girls are close, but they have very different opinions on what kind of property they want.
I was determined. I wanted a new build, I wanted a flat, and it wanted to be all lovely. Lucy's like, no flats, not sure about a new build.
I particularly didn't want a flat. It just is not for me.
But this pair are short on one thing. Just like Noah's Ark, their new home must have 2 of everything. 2 equal bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and 2 parking spaces.
So whether it's a flat or a house, it's double trouble for Kirsty.
The girls want to buy in Reading, but they will consider places further east that are convenient for Lucy's work in Bracknell. With money from their parents and grandparents, the pressure's on to buy well, and that means a dose of reality.
Rather them than me.
My concerns are most traditional properties will have 2 bedrooms of different size and 1 bathroom.
Yeah.
If you're going for the new builds, which do have 2 bedrooms of the same size and often 2 bathrooms, you need parking spaces,
Yeah.
and you get 1 per
Yeah.
flat. But of those 3 issues, so bathroom, car, bedroom, what would you say was the most important?
If there was like a big master and a box room, that might be still a bit more tricky to deal with.
The concern with the car, I guess, is for me, I hate parking so much.
Oh, do you? So what we're saying is bathroom, not particularly an issue.
No.
Parking, there are the elements to it.
Yeah.
It depends, I guess.
Yeah,
it depends, yeah.
And the bedroom thing, we're going to try and inject some reality into the situation. Okay, cool. Then the only thing we're left with is your desire for a house rather than a flat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are sacrifices and compromises with both of your needs. You just have to absolutely be completely straight
Yeah.
when you walk into the first property. As the girls haven't seen any properties so far, they'll have to realise, just like Mum, I know best. With a maximum of £215,000, Gemma and Lucy are after 2 of everything. Double bedrooms, bathrooms and parking spaces.
But when it comes to property type, they want different things. Gemma would like a modern flat, and Lucy would prefer a house.
Oh, thanks, son.
Well, I've gone first this week, I tell you.
What?
Hassan wants a full-size snooker table. Full-size.
It's not just the snooker table, it's all the space around the snooker table.
Like a 24-foot.
That's more than a garage. It's bigger than a garage.
Absolutely. And it's non-negotiable. It's absolutely a must.
Well, I've got a really sweet pair of girls who have had a deposit for 9 months and they haven't found the time to go and see a property yet. What were they thinking? The only problem is they want 2 parking spaces. I've just said toss a coin for the bedrooms, and who needs 2 bathrooms?
I love the way you always seem to manage to influence your house hunters as to what they should want. Inspired. I should try that.
The voice of common sense. Just tell him
I've got the snooker table.
It's not cheap to buy in Bucks. There are more National Trust properties here than anywhere else in the country, and the average property value across 4 of Hannah and Hassan's top locations is over £650,000, 1.5 times more than our couple's budget.
It's been tough to find big enough properties within their price range, but I'm starting them in Flackwell Heath, a location they like. And my first property is just 5 minutes from the motorway. But to be in this prime location, there is a compromise. This 3-bed bungalow is a proper project. It isn't their dream property as it stands, but with a double-storey extension, Hannah and Hassan could create their dream home in their dream spot, if they have the vision to see it.
Aside from the location, that bungalow there provides somebody with a big opportunity.
Okay.
It's not going to hang around long because that house and the one next to it used to look like this one, which is a question of whether you're prepared to tackle the work or not in order to be in this location.
Okay.
It's a lovely road.
Quiet spot. Just want to sit?
Yeah.
Come on then.
The current owners built this detached chalet-style bungalow with separate dining room and conservatory after paying £200 for the land in the 50s.
It's currently on the market for £430,000, leaving Hannah and Hassan 25 grand to start the work.
It's a good-sized plot, so there's plenty of potential for a big family house, including a snooker room.
What's going through your mind, Hass? You were the one that was after something of an opportunity.
It's very small in here. I guess it's just a case of where you'd extend and how quickly you could extend on the money we do have at the moment, and how long it will take us to do the rest of the work.
Yeah.
To give you some idea, the two houses down the road, the estate agents thought to me they'd be worth between 6 and 7.
Okay.
Hannah and Hassan say they lack vision and struggle to see the potential in a project property. I just hope it won't hold them back on this one.
But it is a good sized room, but that I would get rid of.
Yeah, it's
It takes a big
you can
chunk
knock
of
that
it.
out though, can't you? But the thing is, you'd be knocking everything out. It wouldn't just be that wardrobe.
What do you mean?
Change it, you know, the rooms won't stay the same.
No, that's true.
They're a bit like rabbits caught in headlights at the moment, but it could be the most amazing house and ticks in all of their boxes. It's just a little bit difficult for them to imagine it right now.
They've seen almost 40 properties in the past, but have never closed a deal. They're going to need to compromise on something if I'm to stand a chance of finding them a home in such an expensive area.
How'd you get on in there?
It's a lot of work, but the location is amazing.
It's a question of the forever home and how long you will be prepared to wait in order to create it where you really wanted it to be.
It could be stunning. It's quite a mean one. This is what you could have had.
If location is the priority, this is what you could have.
But it seems they don't yet have the vision to take on this level of work, even for the right area. So, are they more willing to compromise on area for the right property? This week, I'm in Buckinghamshire, searching for a family home that's got me snookered.
And I'm in Berkshire with two sisters who are leaving the nest. Will they fly or will they flop?
My search for Hannah and Hassan's forever home, with space for a snooker room, in one of the country's priciest areas is a big ask. The first place I took them could have given them the space they wanted, but they didn't feel up to taking on the work the bungalow needed, so I'm going to have to rethink my approach to pop them a property.
Sisters Gemma and Lucy are after two of everything in Reading for £215,000. Lucy's looking for a house, whereas Gemma favours a flat. I don't fancy my chances.
If it was easy, we'd be out of a job. Fast train links to London, plus the shops, restaurants and bars, mean it's not hard to see why Reading's such a popular place to live.
What I love most about Reading is the atmosphere, the shops, the clubs, the pubs, everything really.
There's quite a big sort of fashion mall growing here, like it's quite up and coming.
It just has everything you need really. You don't really need to go anywhere else because it's all in one place.
Despite the fast-moving market here, we've found a brand new flat in the heart of town, which I'm sure will please Gemma. But with Lucy set on a house, it's time to see which sister is top dog.
This is a new development of 10 flats.
Yeah.
It's really lovely.
It's sort of a bit more homey feeling because it's got that kind of look. It's not like some big block of flats. It's got that kind
Just
of
a
modern,
house.
you know, yeah.
Fantastic. Oh, we're doing well here. OK.
This perfectly positioned two-bedroom property has the 2 bathrooms they want and a bright modern living space. It's on the market for £220,000, which is £5,000 over their budget, but I've been told we can get this within their price range.
Now, obviously, this has got the show furniture in.
I do like it because
It is lovely.
the kitchen's really nice. I like how it's big and it's all open to the living room.
Because obviously it's all in one room. It is kind of bigger because you're not getting the walls taking up the space,
yeah.
which I think is kind of nice.
What would you say so far out of 10?
About sort of 7 because it's so sort of pretty and it sort of seems practical as well. It's all laid out really nicely.
I would actually say 7 as well because I do really, really like it because it's so cute.
And it's convenient for work,
And it's,
for town.
the
which
location is amazing.
Lucy seems to be coming round to the idea of a flat.
But there is always a compromise, and this flat has just 1 parking space. I'm really hoping it won't be a deal breaker.
What would take points off?
This is kind of a bit far off any of the other roads, so
Right.
I'm not sure where there will be to park.
So it would be a case of the parking space and then finding somewhere else to park.
Yeah.
And it is a bit of a walk. Put the parking to one side in your mind and go and look and see if you like the rest of the flat.
The girls want equal-sized bedrooms. Not always easy, but I've done pretty well with this one, and there's just centimetres in it. Hopefully this will soften the blow of the solo parking space.
This is pretty decent size, I think. I think you could definitely fit some of our belongings in there.
Lucy's not so sure.
There's nowhere I could do my makeup.
And if they want town centre living, one of the girls may need to ditch their car in favour of the bus.
I'm kind of 50-50 on the car thing, because Gemma could actually get to work easily by bus. But at the same time, I can see their dilemma.
It's really cute, and the storage is good.
Yeah.
But it's just a bit small.
But the big squeeze is a common problem across the country. New properties are shrinking, giving us the smallest homes in Western Europe, with the average room size a measly 15.8 square metres.
Right. What are your thoughts now?
At the moment, we're kind of on the fence about the fact that obviously it is quite towards the top end of our budget, but then obviously also that we are a little bit pushed for space.
I'd be happy to compromise on other things if I knew that
Yeah.
the parking was not a compromise.
Yeah. Right. We know what we've got to focus on.
So that's more space and parking for two that I need to find. Well, at least I'm not searching for Buckinghamshire's answer to the Crucible.
My first property for Hannah and Hassan is out of the frame because of the amount of work required despite its prime location. With my next, I'm sticking to their motorway boundaries, but this place is on the edge of their no-go zone of High Wycombe.
I know High Wycombe isn't on your list of desired places, but we are genuinely on the edge.
Yeah, just the other side of that hill is not great. No.
Well, it's a good job we're not looking at a house over the other side of that hill, then,
That
isn't
is
it?
true, that is true. Maybe I've learned that location is more important to me than I first thought.
Remember the budget. It's under budget, this one.
Okay, let's have a look.
Hannah's already struggling with the location, but I really hope this property's merits will bring her round.
This four-bedroomed house could make a fabulous family home, with a separate dining room, a utility room, and at 138 feet, a huge garden.
Which I'm pretty confident will give Hassan the space to build the snooker room. And at 55 grand under budget, they'd have cash left to carry out any work.
Just before we go into the house, I think it's worth stepping out the back here.
That's a big garden.
And kind of enjoying the size of the garden and the vista.
That is nice. It's
It's a good view.
Yeah, that is a big garden.
I don't know about you, it doesn't feel like we're anywhere near High
No,
Wycombe.
I agree.
Nice try, Phil. Tactics aside, this house does give them the space and money to create everything they want, if only they could see past its location.
Utility room and separate dining room.
Oh, perfect.
Thinking of you, Hannah.
Great.
Big family space here. All of these key rooms are addressing the view.
Leading onto the view, yeah.
It's okay. I'm not stunned by the living room.
Not completely sort of pulled to the house.
I've lost count of the times people tell me they're after the feeling, but it makes a successful search almost impossible when combined with a lack of vision.
It might not be in your desired area, but it's detached. It's got the big garden. It's got opportunity for the snooker room. Got opportunity to add value.
Yes.
But it's in High Wycombe.
You've seen 30 or 40 properties, which, on the face of it, I think, great. They've learnt lots. They've reached lots of decisions, but I'm not convinced that you have.
I agree.
Getting their perfect home in their perfect area either means a lot more money or a lot of work. If these guys could try and compromise somewhere in their search, it could make all the difference.
It's got to be the snooker room, surely.
You've both mentioned having children in years to come. Have you got a timescale of that kind of thing in mind?
I think we'd like to move and enjoy the house for a bit and then maybe look in a couple of years.
Are you really conscious of how restrictive the requirement for the snooker room is?
I don't think it's that big an ask, because it's just asking for a big garden. Right at the back there would be absolutely perfect. It's just fine.
As far away as possible from your wife and future children.
So, Hassan's not ready to give up his bachelor days just yet, but Phil is clearly wondering how much snooker time he'll get when their little bundles of joy do arrive.
Another good sized room. And again, you've got the view.
That's a lovely view.
It is a lovely view.
Hassan doesn't think he's asking for much with his snooker room. But if that's really the case, then why haven't they found their home already?
Maybe it's also because of the huge amount they want in a premium location without being able to see a property's potential.
Enough cupboard space for you?
I think I could cope.
Has it given you a different perspective coming up here on this level?
It kind of grows on you as you go through it, and it's just whether we can get past the location.
You've made it pretty clear that the snooker room is an absolute must. The size of the house is an absolute must. The budget's pretty fixed, which only really leaves us thinking about a bit of flexibility on the location, hence why we're here on the edge of High Wycombe. So if the location is the one thing that might be movable, can I just get you to think about that overnight?
Yeah.
I'm also worried they're focused on finding a pull to a house. Viewing properties that need work won't give you the same feel as finished ones if you can't see past what's there.
Over in Berkshire, sisters Gemma and Lucy are after 2 of everything. I think my next property answers all their needs, and I've invited Pip along to help them see it that way.
Wokingham is 15 minutes east of the girls' #1 spot, Reading, but it's closer to Lucy's work and offers them all they want.
This is a property I'm confident Lucy will like, as she wants a house. The semi-detached house now.
It does look really nice, doesn't it?
Yeah.
How do you feel about Wokingham?
It's so convenient for work, and you've got the benefit of being in a little town, so you've got all your amenities there, whilst being not far from Reading at all.
And better parking.
Yeah, definitely. I've got all up the street as well.
Yeah.
It's really good.
So, location, tick.
Yeah.
Parking, tick. House, let's see.
2 for 2 so far.
Thank you.
I've got a good feeling about this one.
I can see why. They're getting over double the floor space of the flat, with 2 beds, a kitchen diner, separate sitting room and conservatory, plus a lovely garden.
And it's on the market at just under £210,000, £5,000 under budget.
Nobody likes a show-off.
So, ladies, in you come. Hall, staircase, lovely kitchen.
Oh yeah, it's such a nice size.
Such a nice size. So,
Wow.
This is really nice.
I love it a lot. It's big, but it's cosy, and it's like homely. But
Yeah.
It's quite modern.
Yes.
ooh, that's a very good
It's a good start, isn't it?
I'm a bit jealous. Always nice to get a good reaction. With top marks for parking, location and living space, I'm sure the 2 similar-sized bedrooms can only add to their enthusiasm.
Have a look in that one. That's actually the second bedroom.
Oh, wow. This is pretty good space for the second bedroom.
Saying all the right things.
There's less than 2 square metres between the 2 room sizes.
Oh, wow.
So they're pretty equal sizes.
So there should be no arguing over who gets the best one.
Do you think the 2 of you will find it easy to make a decision together?
I think so, because we could just be really honest without having to worry about hurting the other one's feelings.
Well,
That's
you've
the
both been
idea.
very positive with this.
The bedroom parity may have pleased Lucy, but as Gemma originally wanted a flat, I wonder if she's as sold on the house as her sister.
You seem to be wildly enthusiastic about this house when you came in.
I feel that we've just come in and instantly when I'm looking around I just think this is ticking so many of the boxes that we had. I'd be surprised if we went to the next one and I felt better about it than this.
Wow. I don't know what to say. That is fantastic. Go, go, go. Go see bedrooms and the rest of it and send that Phil Spencer down here.
I will.
I must admit, things are looking good. I imagine Kirsty will be doing her little jig already.
Well, I'm pleased with yourself, aren't you?
I beat them to a pulp when I met them. I reduced their expectations to a speck of dirt.
And then showed them this.
And then showed them.
It is absolutely it's perfect. Good for you if you pull this one off as well.
Yeah, I will, don't worry.
Oh yeah, this one's really good size as well, isn't it? Is this the big one or the small one?
This is the smaller one, but it's just a really good size. You can see you could get easily a double bed in here.
The compromise here is that there's just 1 bathroom.
You won't have to be doing anything
You
about
don't really
it.
have to do anything in here. And it's even got a bit of storage.
Yeah.
But as even that doesn't seem to have fazed them, you may have cracked it with this one.
Hello, hello, hello.
smiles.
Hello. Yes. All smiles.
Yeah. I think it's the sort of place you could actually move into. There's a few minor bits that you want to change, but you wouldn't need to do it before you even moved
No,
in. You could,
and the fact that we're so close to the centre here as well.
the location is great.
So you could stroll in.
Happy days, as Phil often says. Happy days. Yes, no.
Jackpot. I didn't even have to cash in the Spencer charm.
You might be in clover, but it's 2 properties down for me, and I'm going to need to give it everything I've got to please my pair. This week, I need to bring honeymooners Hannah and Hassan back down to earth in the search for their first marital home.
And I'm on a search of biblical proportions, with 2 sisters who want 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, 2 parking spaces. Call me Noah.
But I got it spot on with my last property, as Gemma and Lucy took to the house in Wokingham like ducks to water.
Despite my best efforts, I've racked up 2 no's for Hannah and Hassan, who want lots of space for not a lot of money in very costly areas. I could do with a lucky break. As they're so location sensitive, I'm taking them to the pretty village of Hughenden Valley, just 15 minutes from junction 4 of the M40.
Good schools, local amenities and its community feel make this area perfect for families.
Why did you choose to live here? We've got beautiful countryside surrounding us. We're close to a town centre, High Wycombe.
It's so easy to get to all the other amenities like the train station and the motorway, and there's so much going on in Buckinghamshire.
You've got nice local pub, local shop. It's a lovely village community.
Sounds like the ideal area for my couple, and if they're on board with it, I hope Hannah and Hassan will be able to see how my next option could suit them as their family grows.
You've talked about wanting or hoping for children at some point, which is why I thought we'd start with this house here today.
Okay.
There is a school within walking distance.
I think it's lovely. It's green, it's quiet, hear the birds singing. I think it's really nice.
Promising. And this house would give them everything they've asked for. 4 bedrooms, a dining area, large garden, even a double garage ideal for the snooker room.
It's being marketed at £435,000, 20 grand under budget. And the vendors are keen for a quick sale, so Hannah and Hassan could have plenty left for modernisation.
Come on in. Now, it's been lived in by an old lady, so it does need cosmetic tidying.
Okay.
Perfect. You can use the space better than some of the houses we saw yesterday.
Yeah.
A much more positive first reaction. Maybe they're starting to see what this place could offer them long term.
It's quite small.
I thought you might say that. Because you wanted a dining room, the trade-off is you're going to get a smaller kitchen.
Yeah, no, that is true. That is true. It's a compromise that I'm learning you have to make.
We said straight away we don't need to go in somewhere that's perfectly finished now. We can do that over time.
It's the forever home.
Are they seeing the bigger picture?
Why don't you have a look outside house? There's a big double garage that might have your name on it.
Okay.
The house seems to work for you guys, but I am very conscious that because you wanted somewhere that you could put your own stamp on, it's going to be extraordinarily difficult for you to get the feeling that you're looking for from a house that isn't yet.
It doesn't have that yet.
It doesn't have it yet.
Yeah.
You're going to put it in.
Until you've said that then, it hadn't come into sort of my equation that, yeah, we need to make it our home.
Who is, do you think, harder to please out of you and Hass?
I'd like to say Hass. He's got a big thing about the garden.
So you're more location sensitive and he is more house and garden snooker sensitive, which is why it doesn't quite add up.
We need to compromise together.
Because, of course, where you're living now is under offer. It will be sold. You will be moving out.
Yeah, and we need to think about how long we can live with the in-laws for before going mad.
It sounds like Hannah finally realises the compromises she'll have to make to be in this location. But have the house and garden won over Hassan?
It's on a slope. You can't kick a ball around. You couldn't have your trampoline if you ever wanted a trampoline.
No, that's very true. So we're prepared to compromise on the garden.
Well, there's a lot of thinking going on. There's a lot of talking about we've got thinking to do, but there's no doing. There's no decisions being made. I don't really feel like I'm getting anywhere.
This house offers everything Hassan and Hannah want, even catering to Hassan's demanding desire for snooker room space.
But he doesn't seem completely convinced. I'm concerned his lack of vision's holding him back.
What do you think of the double garage, Hass?
Yeah, it's good, and you can extend it as well,
Yeah.
which is nice.
And the garden?
It's quite small. You change the layout.
Small.
I think if you cleared all of that out, everything
Yeah.
would look a lot bigger.
I'd agree with you, Hannah. You flatten it out from here.
Could you do that?
Oh, absolutely.
Just flatten
You
it
look
off,
too
mate.
easily for the negatives.
No.
How about the house as a package?
That's perfect for us in terms of what we wanted, in terms of updating and decorating, putting our own stamp on.
The rooms are all good sizes. I think it's a possibility.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I'm relieved, because I was getting
Yeah.
slightly worried.
But still no mention of the feeling. So I'm not convinced you've cracked it yet, Phil. I hope your next property is a blinder. For Gemma and Lucy, it's going to be hard to beat the last property. But my next one is back in their #1 area of Reading, just over a mile from the centre and all that has to offer. It's also 17 grand cheaper than the Wokian house.
How would this location work for you two?
I think this location would be really good.
Yeah. Good location. Okie doke. What, do you like the look of the building?
Yeah, it's quite sweet, isn't it?
This first floor flat is immaculately decorated. The bedrooms are as equal as we can get them, and it has the homely feel that they're after.
There's the option of a parking space with the flat, plus visitor and on-street parking. But again, there's just one bathroom. As it's on for 22 grand under budget, I hope they can forgive that to be in their preferred area.
What I like about this flat is that it's got a lot of charm. I mean, this is a much bigger floor space than the first flat.
It all looks nice, it's got the nice floors and everything. It is difficult to take yesterday's house totally out of your head.
But there is ample parking.
Yeah.
It's very central.
Yeah.
It's well within budget, and it has good reception space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The location is really good.
Yeah, when you think about that, how close we are to town is amazing.
Yeah.
This place is the compromise between the modern flat Gemma wanted and the homely house Lucy was looking for. It offers them an ideal location, 2 fairly equal bedrooms, option to park 2 cars, and leaves them money to play with.
I didn't actually notice that. That's quite a big wardrobe in there as
Yeah,
well.
that's
That's
a wardrobe for you and stuff.
That's actually really good. You could definitely fit everything in here.
It's a lovely flat, this. It's exactly what I was hoping I'd get for the girls. It's in the centre of town, it's in a really peaceful area, it's easily rentable, the hospital is nearby, it's in the university part of town. But a lot of that practical stuff is going above their heads.
This property would not only provide the girls with a home close to their friends, family and Reading's busy centre, but as buy-to-let investments are in demand here, it could also offer security for the future with its letting potential.
So you've seen it all now, what are your feelings?
It kind of does tick a lot of the boxes that we want. The location is really, really good.
It's space versus location. I mean, this is a great flat
in
a more central area, but Woking was a house is big enough that you could both live there with partners.
Yeah, that's really true. I thought of that. Yeah.
Now you need to go away, talk to your mum and dad, and work out what works best for you for now and for the future.
While the girls get some parental assistance, I have a 4th and final property in my back pocket for Hannah and Hassan.
The historic West Wickham village is 3 miles west of High Wycombe, hence the name, and boasts beautiful countryside, charming architecture and good schools.
I'm confident this last property, a mile outside the village, grants their many wishes without testing their vision too much. But in such a desired area, to get everything, it's going to cost them.
I'm going to be really upfront with you, because it's on at in excess of your budget.
Okay.
It is on the market at the moment at 485,000. I'm led to believe that there is a deal to be done at less than your budget at 450. The house is huge. It does need cosmetic work throughout.
I think it's pretty.
I think it's a pretty house.
Good. Right, come on in.
That's a relief. The spacious lounge takes over the ground floor, with 4 good-sized double bedrooms above. There's a large garden, plus plenty of room in the basement for not only a snooker room, but a study and storage area too.
It's priced at 30 grand over budget at £485,000, but in its current state, the agent expects the vendor will accept an offer within their price range.
Right, well, let's head in here first.
Huge.
As you can see, built in the 70s, hasn't changed much since then.
Perfect. We want somewhere we could put our stamp on, and you could here.
Definitely, because it does need updating, but it's not scary.
And it's livable.
Yeah, completely.
So
great. All very positive.
It is.
Right, well, on that note, we'll move on. I thought this kind of level of project had you guys written all over it, because I know you struggle with visualising how things will look, but because there isn't walls to move, it's quite simple to imagine how it would look in its finished state.
Yeah.
Something about this house is sort of pulling me to it at the moment, so I'm intrigued to see more of it.
Thankfully, Hannah's got the feeling already, and I'm sure all the space downstairs will get Hassan on side as well.
Oh, it's a study. Oh my God.
Study and games room. It gets better.
Oh my God.
There's another big games room in there.
So much space.
It's the ultimate man cave down here because of it's not just the snooker room.
Yeah. I know you hate the word the feeling, but there was a feeling when we were stood outside and as we walked in, so it's a very, very strong contender.
Even Hassan's getting in touch with his feelings. You might be onto a winner here, Phil.
Dare I say it, this is going extraordinarily well. They're being incredibly positive. You know, it's just fantastic to see them energised and positive and talkative.
and Hassan can't wait to show Hannah the ready-made man cave.
It's massive.
Should be big enough without having to do any structural work.
Great. It's more money for me.
And that's the question. There'll be limited cash left to do any updating because it's currently over budget. So it'll be a long-term project, but I'm hoping they'll see this as the perfect combination of space, location and work.
It's lovely, it is lovely. The space in the house is just massive.
Genuinely, this is a forever home. But of course, it needs some work, and it's top end of budget plus some.
If you're here forever, it doesn't really matter, does it? I think I'm not worried about the financial side of it personally, as long as we can get a good deal, Phil.
No pressure then. You'll need to dust off your best negotiating skills if you want to get more than 30 grand off the asking price.
All in a day's work, Kirsty, all in a day's work.
Sisters Gemma and Lucy wanted 2 of everything, and they finally reached a compromise on bathrooms. They now just have a space versus location dilemma.
The second flat in Reading has everything they need in their favourite area, but the house in Wokingham gives them around 1.5 times more room.
As the girls' parents have played a big part in funding their deposit, it's only right they should help them make their decision.
It's just like the second one on the right.
Looks like it's got new windows in it as well.
This is kind of key.
Yes, parking space.
It's always worth getting a second opinion, and as Dad Steve is a quantity surveyor, he's the perfect person to check the girls are making the right decision.
This is the master bedroom, this is the main.
Oh, nice. There's quite a lot of storage space in here.
Yeah, loads.
It's a quite good sized room, actually.
Yeah, because there's plenty of room on either side of the bed.
There is.
Yeah.
Mum and Dad know all too well that when it comes to siblings, everything needs to be equal, including bedroom sizes.
So this is
the smaller
this is
room.
small. Oh, Jim.
It's not bad.
You can see that.
I know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's...
Yeah. You can get a double bed in there without a problem.
Looks like it's got parental approval. Now it's up to the girls to decide if they're happy to take the next step.
I really like it. I like how it looks and how it feels.
So we've got to decide whether we want to be in Wokingham or we want to
be in Reading.
Be in Reading.
Or do you want a house or a flat?
Exactly.
That's the other thing.
Yeah, I think we've actually got like quite a hard decision to make.
You certainly have.
Yeah.
After viewing almost 40 properties, Hannah and Hassan have already made their decision, setting their sights on the huge 4-bed in West Wickham. They love the house, but as they don't know the local area, a trip to the heart of the village is in order.
It's a very beautiful village.
It is.
It's a National Trust village,
Oh, okay.
so it'll never change. It'll always look like this.
Lovely little town. Really, really nice. It's just got all the local amenities you need as well, really.
Yeah.
And any excuse to sample a local delicacy.
So this is my plan, fill you up with sugar, get you excited. What do you think of that village then?
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. And to have little shops like this where you just don't get them where we live at all.
And your journey to work?
M40 is close.
Yeah.
You've got High Wycombe to get into London if you need to get into London. Well, I think it works.
Looks like Hannah and Hassan are sold on the area. And who wouldn't like a lovely sweet shop on their doorstep?
After a lot of deliberation, the girls have decided to go for the house in Wokingham. Sadly, Kirsty's had to rush off to a family emergency, leaving me in charge of bringing in both deals.
I've got every faith in you.
But when I left you yesterday, that viewing was a very, very happy experience.
I think it's going to be difficult for us to go out there and not feel that everything suffers by comparison. And it seems a bit stupid to kind of pass up on that opportunity.
I think that house is an excellent house. And they've had quite a lot of people look at it and no offers. So I think it's worth just chancing
Yeah.
a low offer
Yeah.
and just gauging their reaction.
I think if we kind of went for about 200 with maybe a little bit of a buffer to wiggle up if we need to.
Yeah. So you're happy at 200?
Yes.
Oh, Tom, hello, Tom, hi. It's Phil Spencer. The girls do very much like the house, and they've come up with a figure of 200,000. Good luck. Thank you, Tom. Cheers. Bye. Well, he didn't seem bad, just he's pleased to get an offer, basically.
Yeah.
He's got somebody to work with now, see if he can do his job.
Yeah.
Great.
I know. Oh, my God.
So far, so good. Everything crossed.
But I've also got my couple chomping at the bit to make an offer on the West Wickham house. It's on the market at £485,000, 30 grand over budget. And with other buyers interested, I'm going to have to pull out an old trick if I'm to get them a decent deal.
Tactically, I think we need to be quite clever here, simply because there is a third viewing that's happening in 2 days' time at the house. So with that in mind, what I'd be inclined to do is say that if you don't buy the one that we're talking to them about, you'll buy Hewington Valley, and there is some time pressure involved there.
Sounds good?
Yeah.
Sounds good to me. Let's go in at 427.
Yeah, okay.
Using another property to show you have options can help put extra pressure on the vendor. So I'm using the property in Hewington Valley as my bargaining chip.
I've got instructions to put to you an offer of 427. A slight delicacy, if you like, is their other option over at Hewington Valley. There was a time issue on that deal. Thanks, James. Look forward to speaking. Cheers. Bye.
What did he say? What did he say?
He said the vendors are hoping for more than 450, but
Oh, okay.
we'll wait and see. It's all part of the fun and games.
But Gemma and Lucy are also on tenterhooks after putting in their first offer on their very first home.
What do you think he'll do?
I don't know.
Say yes, he's going to definitely.
The power of positive thinking.
Hi there, what news? Okay. Yeah, I understand. So we'll wait to hear. Good luck, thank you. Cheers. Bye. The vendors are talking to one another, and they'd like this evening, tonight, to kind of review their position. So I'll ring you as soon as I hear.
Yeah. Oh, perfect. Okay. And thank you very much.
Let's hope it all comes together.
Yeah.
An anxious night ahead for the girls, but your job's not over yet, Phil.
As we suspected, Hannah and Hassan's cheeky offer at 58 grand under the asking price has been rejected. Sadly, so was a second bid at 440,000. So I now need to find out what figure the vendors have in mind.
If the buyers were to offer 450 today, would he accept it and take it off the market today? Thanks so much. Cheers. Bye.
What did he say?
He wants 460. Okay. I think he'll do a deal at 450. There is this third viewing that's happening on Saturday, and I think he's probably a bit reluctant to do business with you at this point because he doesn't know what's going to happen.
Yeah. Hannah and Hassan confirm they're happy to offer 450, and it's not long before the agent sends me a text saying one of the vendors is keen to accept, but until the other one's happy, all we can do is wait.
As soon as I hear, you will. But I'm so pleased to have actually found you something that you wanted to go for under some fairly tough circumstances, I think. But it's
and a separate dining room.
And Hannah and Hassan don't have to wait long, as their £450,000 offer was accepted the very next day. While they wait for the vendors to find a place of their own, they're taking time to plan their renovations. But as Hannah's priority is the kitchen, Hassan might have to wait a little longer for his beloved snooker room.
Unfortunately for Gemma and Lucy, they were outbid on the Wokingham house after another buyer offered the full asking price. But the girls didn't let that hold them back. They've since had an offer accepted on a 2-bedroom house in Reading, and they're hoping to move in very soon.
Next week, we're catching up with some first-time buyers who braved the scary London market.
I truly have the fear now.
Me too. Where you never know who or what is round the corner.
Ooh, if you're a Spencer.
But if you can keep calm amidst the chaos...
Coming around to my way of thinking.
I think I had a dress in that material once.
Then, God willing, it can be the experience of a lifetime. To collect property information from the show into your own online scrapbook, or to get our help with finding your own home, go to channel4.com/Kirsty and Phil.
The big return is almost upon us. For a limited time only, Homeland Series 2 is now available to catch up with on 4OD. And if possible, even more epic is the start of Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. The big time is hitting the small screen tomorrow at 8. Next night, though, with exam pressure on, things are heating up in educating Yorkshire.